Being able to put your past abuse into perspective doesn't mean you will be immune from being hurt in the present. If you are around people for very long, you will end up hurt by someone. Your past patterns of dealing with being hurt are not those you want to continue. Like the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi, who navigated the tumultuous waters of battle with unparalleled skill and wisdom, we too can learn to respond to emotional wounds with grace and resilience. This video will guide you how to respond when someone hurts you, a roadmap to personal empowerment and lasting peace. 1. Recognize the offense for what it is. In the intricate dance of human interactions, offenses can be likened to passing storms. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, encourages us to view these disturbances as fleeting moments rather than permanent scars on the canvas of our lives. The ability to recognize the offense for what it truly is, a transient disturbance, becomes the foundation for emotional resilience. Musashi's teachings echo the essence of mindfulness, urging us to be present in the moment and perceive the offense without undue attachment. By understanding that emotional wounds are often products of temporary circumstances, we free ourselves from the shackles of prolonged suffering. The samurai, in facing an opponent, would assess the situation objectively, discerning the nature of the threat. Similarly, in the realm of emotions, we must cultivate the skill to discern the transient nature of offenses, preventing them from overshadowing our broader perspective on life. This recognition is not a dismissal of the pain caused, but rather a shift in perspective. Musashi's philosophy teaches us that just as the landscape changes with the seasons, so do our emotional experiences. By recognizing the offense as a momentary disturbance, we embrace a mindset that allows for healing, growth, and the restoration of emotional equilibrium. Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom encourages the cultivation of a mindset rooted in non-attachment. The samurai, in the heat of battle, did not cling to a particular outcome, but adapted to the ever-shifting dynamics. Similarly, in responding to emotional offenses, adopting a mindset of non-attachment allows us to navigate the ebb and flow of emotions without being engulfed by them. Non-attachment, as advocated by Musashi, does not imply emotional indifference. Instead, it signifies a profound acceptance of the impermanence of emotions. The hurt inflicted by others is but a passing wave in the vast ocean of our experiences. Recognizing the offense for what it is, an ephemeral disturbance, empowers us to remain centered amidst the turbulence, much like a skilled martial artist maintaining balance in the face of an opponent's onslaught. In the spirit of Musashi's teachings, recognizing the offense as a momentary disturbance is an act of cultivating emotional equanimity. The samurai valued inner composure as a source of strength, allowing them to face challenges with clarity and focus. Similarly, by acknowledging the temporary nature of emotional wounds, we cultivate a sense of inner calm that forms the bedrock of resilience. This recognition is not a denial of the emotional impact, but a conscious choice to prevent the offense from becoming an enduring source of distress. Musashi's legacy teaches us that emotional equanimity is not a passive state, but an active engagement with our internal landscape. By recognizing the offense as a passing disturbance, we actively participate in the restoration of balance, ensuring that our emotional well-being remains steadfast, even in the face of adversity. Musashi's teachings invite us to become the architects of our own narratives. In recognizing the offense for what it is, a momentary disturbance, we reclaim the power to shape the story of our emotional experiences. Instead of allowing the hurt to define our self-perception, we step into the role of the storyteller, framing the narrative in a way that empowers rather than victimizes. The samurai, when faced with a formidable adversary, did not view the encounter as insurmountable, but as an opportunity for growth and mastery. Likewise, in recognizing the offense as a momentary disturbance, we redefine our relationship with emotional challenges. Each offense becomes a stepping stone, a catalyst for personal evolution and resilience. Musashi's legacy teaches us that our perspective on the offense determines whether it becomes a stumbling block or a stepping stone on our journey towards emotional mastery. 2. Resist the tendency to defend your position. In the theater of conflict, the instinct to defend one's position is a reflex deeply rooted in the human psyche. Yet Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom guides us to resist this instinct, offering a profound lesson in the strength found in vulnerability. Much like a seasoned warrior who avoids unnecessary confrontation, the art of emotional resilience involves discerning when to engage and when to step back. Musashi's teachings encourage us to view our emotional landscape as a battleground where unnecessary defenses only escalate the conflict. The samurai's ability to remain flexible in the face of an opponent's tactics finds a parallel in the emotional realm. Rather than staunchly defending our position, we can choose the path of adaptability, understanding that true strength lies not in rigidity, but in the ability to flow with the currents of the moment. Defending our position often stems from a desire for certainty in an uncertain world. Musashi, however, embraced the uncertainty of battle, recognizing it as the very essence of combat. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, the illusion of certainty is dispelled when we resist the compulsion to defend our position rigidly. This act of letting go, inspired by Musashi's philosophy, opens the door to a more profound understanding of the situation and those involved. Embracing the unknown requires courage, the courage to relinquish the need for a predefined outcome. Musashi's legacy teaches us that by resisting the tendency to defend our position, we step into the realm of uncertainty with an open heart and a clear mind. In doing so, we become adept navigators of the emotional terrain, capable of discerning the nuances of the conflict without succumbing to the illusion of control. Miyamoto Musashi's martial strategy often involved the art of strategic silence, a deliberate choice of when to speak and when to remain silent. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, resisting the impulse to defend our position vehemently invites us to choose our words with intention. The samurai's code of conduct emphasized the power of silence as a tool for reflection and strategic advantage. In the face of emotional turbulence, a strategic pause allows us to collect our thoughts, preventing impulsive reactions that may exacerbate the conflict. By resisting the need to defend our position through verbal onslaught, we mirror Musashi's disciplined approach to combat. The resulting silence becomes a canvas upon which thoughtful responses can be artfully painted, fostering a climate of understanding rather than confrontation. Musashi's legendary duels were not merely displays of physical prowess, but intricate dances of strategy and understanding. Likewise, in emotional conflicts, resisting the urge to defend our position offers an opportunity to engage in the dance of empathy. By seeking to understand the motivations and perspectives of the other party, we transcend the adversarial dynamics, opening the door to resolution. The samurai's ability to comprehend the intentions of an opponent allowed for strategic maneuvers that led to victory. In the emotional arena, understanding the motivations behind the perceived offense positions us as architects of resolution rather than combatants in an unwinnable war. By resisting the compulsion to defend our position and instead seeking to understand, we participate in a dance of empathy that can transform the dynamics of conflict into an opportunity for mutual growth. Miyamoto Musashi's humility was the cornerstone of his legendary success. In the context of emotional resilience, resisting the tendency to defend our position requires a similar embrace of humility. The samurai understood that true strength is not derived from an inflexible ego, but from a humble acknowledgement of one's vulnerabilities. By resisting the need to defend our position, we cultivate an inner strength that transcends the need for external validation. Musashi's teachings guide us to recognize that vulnerability is not a weakness but a source of true power. In relinquishing the compulsion to defend at all costs, we embody the essence of the samurai's humility, forging a path to emotional resilience grounded in authentic strength. 3. Give up the need to be right. In the pursuit of emotional resilience, Miyamoto Musashi's teachings beckon us to surrender a potent adversary, the need to be right. The samurai's path, rooted in discipline and humility, offers profound insights into the liberation that comes with relinquishing the desire for validation. Like a skilled warrior who lays down unnecessary weapons, embracing this principle transforms emotional conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. Musashi's wisdom invites us to recognize the battlefield within, the arena of the ego, where the desire to be right wages war against the potential for peace. In emotional conflicts, the ego clamors for vindication, seeking affirmation and dominance. The samurai, however, understood that true strength emanates not from overpowering others, but from the humble acknowledgement of our own fallibility. By giving up the need to be right, we dismantle the ego's armor, stepping onto a path of emotional liberation. The samurai's discipline was not about the pursuit of victory at any cost, but the pursuit of inner harmony, transcending the ego's relentless demands for affirmation. In the realm of emotions, acknowledging that the need to be right is a self-imposed shackle allows us to walk the path of humility, where true strength lies in the freedom to be authentic rather than right. Miyamoto Musashi's life was a testament to the art of humble wisdom. In the context of emotional resilience, giving up the need to be right involves an embrace of this wisdom. The samurai understood that mastery is a journey, not a destination, and true wisdom arises from the humility to learn from every experience. In emotional conflicts, the need to be right often blinds us to the lessons inherent in the situation. Musashi's teachings guide us to approach each encounter with an open heart, ready to glean insights from the nuances of the interaction. By giving up the need to be right, we become humble students of life, acknowledging that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and refinement. The need to be right can poison the waters of our emotional well-being, creating toxic patterns that contaminate our relationships. Musashi's philosophy calls for the purification of the inner self, a process of emotional detoxification that begins with relinquishing the need for constant validation. By giving up the compulsion to be right, we detoxify our emotional landscape, purging it of the corrosive elements that breed resentment and animosity. The samurai's commitment to purity extended beyond the physical realm to the depths of the soul. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, the act of giving up the need to be right becomes a purification ritual, clearing the path for healthier connections and emotional well-being. In the pursuit of being right, empathy often becomes a casualty. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings underscore the importance of understanding others, the cornerstone of empathy. By relinquishing the need to be right, we create space for genuine understanding, recognizing that different perspectives coexist on the intricate tapestry of human experience. The samurai's strategic prowess extended beyond the physical battlefield to the empathetic understanding of opponents. Likewise, in emotional conflicts, giving up the need to be right fosters an environment where empathy can flourish. By embracing the liberation that comes with understanding others, we transcend the limitations of ego-driven conflicts, paving the way for harmonious resolutions and deeper connections. In the spirit of Musashi's teachings, giving up the need to be right transforms conflicts into collaborative dances. The samurai's strategic alliances were forged not through dominance, but through cooperation. Similarly, in the emotional realm, relinquishing the need to be right creates a space where collaborative solutions can emerge. By adopting an attitude of humility, we signal our willingness to collaborate rather than compete. The need to be right often fuels a combative mindset, hindering the potential for joint problem-solving. Musashi's legacy teaches us that true strength lies in cooperation, where diverse strengths converge to create a more robust and resilient whole. 4. Recognize and apologize for anything you may have done to contribute to the situation. In the dojo of emotional resilience, Miyamoto Musashi's teachings beckon us to embody a profound principle: the willingness to recognize and apologize for any contribution to the conflict at hand. This practice, reminiscent of the samurai's commitment to honor and integrity, transforms emotional conflicts into opportunities for genuine reconciliation and personal growth. Musashi's philosophy emphasizes the importance of self-reflection as a path to mastery. In the context of emotional resilience, recognizing and apologizing for one's contribution to the situation is akin to gazing into the mirror of self-awareness, The samurai understood that true strength arises not only from skill with a sword, but from an unwavering commitment to personal integrity. By acknowledging our role in the unfolding conflict, we step into the realm of accountability. The samurai, in facing an adversary, did not shy away from the reality of the battle. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, the act of recognizing and apologizing becomes a courageous acknowledgement of our own vulnerabilities and imperfections. This act of accountability is the alchemy that transmutes conflict into an opportunity for self-growth and authentic connection. Miyamoto Musashi's code of conduct stressed the importance of rectifying wrongs. In the context of emotional resilience, a humble apology serves as a powerful tool for restoring harmony. The samurai's commitment to honor extended to the restitution of balance when it was disrupted. Apologizing for any contribution to the situation becomes a bridge-building gesture, signaling our commitment to rectifying misunderstandings. Much like Musashi sought to restore equilibrium on the battlefield, in the emotional arena, a sincere apology becomes a catalyst for restoring the balance of trust and understanding. It is an act of humility that transcends ego, creating a space where resolution and healing can unfold. In Musashi's time, the samurai code emphasized not only physical courage but the courage to be vulnerable, the willingness to expose one's true self. Likewise, in recognizing and apologizing for our contribution to an emotional conflict, we embody the virtue of vulnerability. This courage lies in the openness to acknowledge our fallibility and the impact of our actions on others. The samurai's valor did not rest solely on the battlefield. It extended to the courage required to mend relationships and foster understanding. Similarly, in the emotional realm, the act of recognizing and apologizing requires a courageous confrontation with our own shortcomings. This vulnerability becomes a virtue, a testament to our commitment to personal growth and the well-being of our relationships. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings emphasize the interconnectedness of all things. In the realm of emotional resilience, recognizing and apologizing for one's contribution contributes to the forging of stronger connections. The samurai understood the importance of unity, not only within oneself but within the community. By fostering a culture of accountability, we contribute to the strength of our emotional bonds. Apologizing becomes a gesture that transcends personal pride for the sake of collective well-being. In the spirit of Musashi's interconnected philosophy, the strength derived from mutual understanding and accountability amplifies the resilience of the entire emotional ecosystem. Miyamoto Musashi's life was marked not only by victories but by his commitment to personal redemption. In the tapestry of emotional conflicts, recognizing and apologizing serves as a transformative path to redemption. The samurai's legacy teaches us that every misstep can become a stepping stone toward a more enlightened and harmonious existence. Apologizing for our contribution becomes an act of self-redemption, a commitment to learning from our mistakes and evolving. The samurai, after a battle, sought not only victory, but a deeper understanding of themselves and their adversaries. Similarly, in the realm of emotions, the act of apologizing becomes a journey toward self-discovery, growth, and the redemption of fractured relationships. 5. Respond. Don't react. Miyamoto Musashi's legendary duels were marked by his composed and deliberate actions. Similarly, in the realm of emotions, reacting impulsively can escalate the conflict. Musashi's teachings guide us to respond thoughtfully, choosing our actions with purpose and clarity. By maintaining control over our reactions, we embody the essence of the true warrior: calm, focused, and strategic. This approach not only de-escalates emotional conflicts, but also reflects an inner strength rooted in mindfulness. 6. Adopt an attitude of bridge building as opposed to attacking or retreating. The art of war, as per Musashi, is not about destroying the opponent but seeking resolution. In emotional conflicts, adopting an attitude of bridge building aligns with Musashi's ethos. Instead of attacking or retreating, we become architects of understanding and reconciliation. By fostering connection and empathy, we transcend the adversarial dynamics, creating a path towards mutual growth and harmony. A testament to the art of emotional intelligence. 7. Realize that you may be the target of someone's anger, but not the source of it. In the Dojo of Emotional Resilience, Miyamoto Musashi's teachings guide us to a profound realization. The understanding that while we may be the target of someone's anger, we are not necessarily the source of it. This principle, akin to the samurai's skill in deflecting attacks without absorbing them, becomes a shield of emotional detachment, allowing us to navigate the storms of others' emotions with grace and composure. Musashi's legendary perception on the battlefield extended beyond the physical realm. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, realizing that we may be the target, not the source, requires a keen sense of discernment. The samurai's ability to assess the intentions of adversaries finds a parallel in our capacity to discern the external forces that may be driving someone's anger. By recognizing that external factors such as stress, frustration, or personal struggles may be the true sources of another person's anger, we cultivate a mindset of empathy and understanding. This discernment becomes a shield, protecting our emotional well-being from unnecessary turmoil and allowing us to respond with compassion rather than defensiveness. In the realm of emotional resilience, the realization that we are not the source of someone's anger becomes the construction of an inner fortress, a sanctuary of emotional detachment. Musashi's discipline in maintaining inner composure in the face of adversity serves as inspiration for cultivating this fortress. Emotional detachment is not a manifestation of indifference, but a conscious choice to preserve our inner peace amidst external turmoil. The samurai understood that emotional fortitude was a source of strength. Similarly, realizing that we may be the target of someone's anger, not the source, empowers us to stand firm within our emotional fortress. This strength lies in our ability to respond with clarity and compassion, unswayed by the storms of others' emotions. Miyamoto Musashi's ethos emphasized the art of winning without unnecessary conflict. Similarly, in realizing that we may be the target of someone's anger, adopting a stance of compassion over confrontation aligns with the samurai's approach to conflict resolution. The samurai sought not to crush adversaries but to understand and transform the dynamics of the situation. By recognizing that the anger directed towards us may be a reflection of another's inner turmoil, we shift from a defensive posture to one of compassionate understanding. This approach fosters a climate where conflicts can be resolved through empathy and collaboration, rather than escalating into battles of ego and pride. In the spirit of Musashi, we become architects of harmony, even in the face of someone else's anger. Miyamoto Musashi's humility was a cornerstone of his philosophy. In realizing that we may be the target of someone's anger, humility becomes a guiding light. The samurai did not personalize every attack. Instead, they understood the ebb and flow of battle. Similarly, in emotional conflicts, humility allows us to transcend the tendency to internalize others' anger as a personal affront. Recognizing that we are not the source of someone's anger requires a humble acknowledgement of the complexity of human emotions. It is an understanding that we are all susceptible to external pressures, and conflicts often stem from individual struggles rather than intentional harm. By transcending personalization, we cultivate a mindset of humility that paves the way for empathetic responses. In the crucible of emotional resilience, realizing that we may be the target of someone's anger, not the source, becomes the liberation of emotional detachment. Musashi's teachings on responding, not reacting, find resonance here. Emotional detachment does not imply indifference. Instead, it is the freedom to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. The samurai's legendary composure in the face of an opponent's aggression serves as a model for our own emotional poise. By realizing that we are not the source of someone's anger, we detach from the need for immediate defense or counterattack. This emotional freedom allows us to respond with wisdom, choosing actions that contribute to resolution and understanding rather than escalating the conflict. 8. Realize that even if someone has hurt you, that need not take away your personal happiness. Musashi's legendary composure in the heat of battle reflects a profound inner peace. Similarly, in the arena of emotions, realizing that external circumstances need not dictate our personal happiness is a liberating realization. By embracing the resilience inherent in Musashi's teachings, we cultivate a sense of inner contentment that remains unshaken by external conflicts. This realization becomes a shield, protecting our inner sanctum from the storms of emotional turmoil. 9. Set boundaries. The disciplined warrior, as envisioned by Musashi, is not without boundaries. In the context of emotional resilience, setting boundaries becomes a crucial aspect of self-care. By clearly defining our emotional limits, we communicate to others the standards of respect we expect. Musashi's emphasis on discipline resonates here. Establishing boundaries is an act of self-discipline, a declaration that our emotional well-being is non-negotiable. This proactive measure not only safeguards our mental health, but also fosters healthier relationships based on mutual respect. Miyamoto Musashi's timeless teachings serve as a guiding light in the intricate terrain of emotional conflicts. By weaving his principles into the fabric of our responses, we transform moments of hurt into opportunities for growth and understanding. The art of emotional resilience, inspired by Musashi, empowers us to navigate the ebb and flow of human interactions with grace and wisdom. As we embody these 9 ways to respond when someone hurts us, we embark on a journey towards mastering the art of emotional intelligence, a journey that echoes the indomitable spirit of the legendary samurai himself.